No, that I want to bet. I'm not a gambler. I don't have a gambling issue. But I want to bet, and I bet it that 85 to 90% of this room would be women. Now, I want you to be clear that the work that we're doing, this panel is going to share things with you. It's a challenging, very challenging job. And we need to understand that one of the challenges that our will look like that. So what we're going to talk about today is going to be real talk about how we can help you become, your agency become more father-friendly. So when the man walks into your agency with his wife or with his children or with his family, you guys present the best, the most comfortable position you can put him in to get information from him. So I'm going to start off with by introducing our panel by saying, allowing them to do it themselves. Okay, now I'll turn that over to Mr. Keith Young.
Routine. That's how we do things, right? You have your coffee. My name is Keith Young. I am a male involvement coordinator, community partner liaison, outreach worker, maintenance man, fix-it guy at the New Haven Board of Education Head Start program. I've been in that capacity for about 15 years, and I guess I'll leave it at that until next time.
Morning, my name is Augustine KK. I run Project Brotherhood. It's a cancer prevention program at the Hospital of St. Rayfield.
Dr. Augustino.
Good morning. I'm Gary Smart. I work at the Yale New Haven Hospital Department of Community Health, and I actually run a men's health program here, as well as working as the manager of special projects and clinical support for the hospital as well.
I'm Ken Harris. I work for the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven. I've been doing women's health for about 20 years and fatherhood programs for about the same. Most importantly about me, I'm a husband to Angela, a wife of 20 years, courting for 6, so 26 years with one woman. And the other important aspect of me is I'm a father of one son, Colton, and a foster father to 5 young boys.
Wow, that's a hard act to follow. Right? My name is Richard Spears. I'm the clinical supervisor for Nurturing Families Network at Children's Community Programs. Excuse me. And basically, we provide services to and fathers. You know, we're really trying to integrate fathers into the Nurturing Families program.
Thank you, Richard. And I just want to add that I am the project manager of Male Involvement Network Agency for Community Event Father Friendly. And that's like a lot. So I'm going to drop it. My brother Richard Young to answer the question.
Thanks. I want to start off by saying, I appreciate the audience here today. It's very, very important to have you people here, you program directors, outreach workers, just bodies in here. We have an interest, and the more you show an interest, the more that men are going to pick up your interest, meaning that you have true passion in what you're doing. You're not just doing it because you're getting funding. You're not just doing it because you want to save the world. This is basically about the children. That's what it's basically about. And let's not be fooled. Male involvement is no different than female involvement, which really means parental involvement. So this whole thing right here, in my eyes, I can't speak for the whole panel, is about parental involvement, strengthening families. All right? And sometimes you have to go about it a different way. We have resources for women. Let's keep this real. I'm going to probably be the one that's going to get in the most trouble about keeping it real here. But we have female involvement. Women have their script already. Women, that's not my phone. Women have the book. They follow mom a little bit more than what boys follow dads in the kitchen. All right? They know what it is to keep their hair neat. They know what it is to put the barrettes in the hair and all this and that good old stuff. They have a book. Women know what resources they hit already. They know about Department of Social Services. They know about child support. They utilize the resources. Women that have been in unhealthy relationships, they know what resources they have. But you know what? Men have those same exact needs that women have. We don't have that book. We're getting the book now. So I want you to understand, we don't have that unspoken, that invisible book that we're able to put in our pocket and say, this is where I go. This is how you ask. You know, women, if they needed some kind of a resource, they don't really have to say, well, I'm looking for it. Someone can say, girl, you can go over to and get this and that. We don't have that. And on top of that, we don't really, back in the day, we didn't really feel comfortable in asking this brother right here, yo, how do I get some food? You know, what we know how to do is make money. And you're going to see a lot of drug dealers out there. But don't turn your back on them. They're trying to get their hustle on. They're trying to make money whatever way they can make money. Now, it might not be the right way, but they're trying to survive. And what we're trying to do here in this room is teach them how to survive in the most positive way, the most productive way, all right, for their children. Now, how do you make a male? I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
No questions until afterwards, right?
Right.
Even though she's the boss lady.
Please, just write them down, please. It'll go a whole lot better for us if we just write them down, because we don't want to get, I want you guys to have a chance to talk to us.
I don't think she had a question. I'll be smashed. That's how I'm very nervous. I've been doing this for 50 years, but I still get nervous. There's a bunch of women in here. I'm still nervous. Let's keep this real, right? But getting your program male friendly, there's no precise way to do that. What you really have to do is ask the men what they need, and you have to be you have to be open-minded. You can't go through this whole journey with squinted eyes. You have to have wide eyes wide open. You have to look. You have to see what you're looking for. All right. When it comes into one thing, I do know, when I first started off this male involvement program at Head Start, I was a Head Start dad. My son was 3 years old. I was going through a divorce. Okay. Home was not the place for me to see my son or have communication with his mother. I'm one of those dads you're going to see come to your program. I was unemployed, laid off, didn't have a job, could not pay child support, did not know what child support meant. So I got hired at some point through Head Start as a custodian 16 years ago. Only because Grace Dowdy, bless her, I always mention her name, who's the program director, said we need to do something with this boy, as she would call me back in the day. Because I was just around. But she saw that kids would flock to me. And I'm quite sure you heard these stories about how men are like the Michael Jordans and kids flock to them, all that good old stuff. She saw that I was an asset to the children there. So she was wise enough to utilize me, at least have me in the program. So I started off in maintenance. And from there, I was one of those dads that other people would be able to see, hey, there is a dad in here. So when that other dad might stay for like 5 or 10 minutes. All right, mission accomplished. Let's not try to get men to stay in your program for hours and hours and fill out all this paperwork. Get them in the door the first time, right? It's just a relationship. Get them in the door the first time. So what happened after that, I became an outreach worker, and right from there, that was it. I got my hustle on, and I'm going to keep on saying I got my hustle on. This whole male involvement thing to me is a hustle, all right? We trying to get men into the program. So when I got into the program as an outreach worker, the first thing I said was there are other dads like me that want to be involved but don't know how to be involved. All right? I didn't go to school for it or anything. I just knew that I liked it, so there had to be another male that liked it. Out of all the kids in this program, there had to be at least 2 or 3 other dads that cared about their kids as I did. So that was it. Male involvement started off. And when I did get into as an outreach worker and identifying what some of the needs were, I had to go to child support enforcement during my tenure at Head Start. And when I went in there was a lady at the window. She had an attitude problem, keeping it real, and she just said name, number, what are you here for? And that was it. But she didn't know that I was a person of position at the time working along with men at the same time while I was paying child support. So I spoke to the director there, and we put pictures up on the wall, made it a little bit more inviting. All right? Child support enforcement at the time looked like it was like a jail when you walked up in there, something they were familiar with already. It was threatening. What you don't want to do, no matter what you do, you don't want to make it threatening. You want to put something up that they can identify with. If it's a picture, if it's some kind of questionnaire, asking them what they need. All right, we don't want the baseball pictures and the basketball pictures and the Michael Jordan pictures, all this good stuff up on the wall. It doesn't work for us anymore. We want to know that you care, straight up. We want to know that you have an interest in what we're here for. And we want to know at that time, why do I have to pay these child support? We want an explanation. So child support enforcement started to take a little bit more time out in explaining why I was there, because other men were going to be following behind me. These agencies that I've gone to before, and I've gone in there without the shirt and tie on, with just my jeans on, my sneakers, open shirt, and walked in there just as a regular client. And I really tripped people out because they treated me the same exact way. The first thing is when a person walks through that door, you want to have a good greeter. It does not have to be a male. Men do not have to run your male involvement program, because there's a bunch of women that run programs, and there are outreach workers. We're not going to get around it. That's the way the money falls. All right, men have to become educated in order to get into this field. That takes time. We don't have time to do all that. So if you want to make your male involvement program more male-friendly, you have to have passion without the money. you have to really want to do this. And what I say to everyone I get in trouble, if you don't want to do this, please get out of that field, because all you're doing is hurting the process. All right, that's time. Already? Oh, I'm doing my psychiatrist, man. It's a tight little
Okay. Thank you, Steve.
Yes. Never enough time to really explain to Steve.
This is your case. This is your case.
We'll get a chance to get a dialogue going.
Yeah.
So we'll you'll get a chance to add more to it. Anyone else on the panel like to add to this?
I just think that it's important that you add a certain flavor to your agency so that it is information. So the National Fatherhood Initiative, will provide a lot of information around working with fathers. So I think it's important that you at least, try to access that resource to begin to give some information to fathers about how they can best work with your child. It gives a more father-focused approach to working with children.